strong and true. So good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's Claudia here checking in. So all you need to do is just go on my page, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or my YouTube, which is Claudia, and you'll be able to participate in this in my book launch. Okay. So just hang tight. We're here. And we're going to get started in this video. I'm super excited, and I'm so thankful for all of you all, because without you guys, I could not have done this. This is an exciting moment for me. I'm super thankful and just like giving God thanks all the time. Right? So this is Tease, and we'll be back. All right? Thank you.
If you do so many changes, things you can't figure out, sometimes seem to explain it. don't know what I'll do if a love again. Keep me safe. What else can be? Got me looking up to you.
Lisa, speak higher. Open your Instagram and see what's the view. Huh? Yeah, that's what you said to them. That's fine? More?
You're listening to DJ Amar.
Yes, that's good. Wait, this time. Back a little bit. I'm gonna sit up there. See if until only Facebook and YouTube. I don't think it's working for Instagram.
Okay. But how do I go?
So, and where's on the chat right here? Alright, so let me send you something. From Instagram and see, no, not Instagram, Facebook. Are you on Facebook? So you send a message from your phone? Yeah. It didn't show up. I ain't gonna scroll. What's this fancy? And you know what I'll do? I'll be ready to go to you so you can respond to me. That's gonna be awkward for you. Come back in.
Yeah, I can't type that way. That's and is it coming from this camera? It's viewing from this, right?
Yeah, that's smart. And then just turn the camera that way. And you can rotate it as you need to.
Okay.
What we can do is mute it for now. You can see that nothing is going on. We can I sent it to you. One order? No, I sent you several.
Any extra, can I get it back?
I'll just tell you. I'll just give it to you. And then I'm going to send it to you. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. We're going to talk sex, sex, and more sex. Can I get the crowd to say sex? I want everybody to say sex. Sex, come. Just throw out a flirting word. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're comfortable with. The whole idea is for everyone to be comfortable this evening. By the time we leave here, we're all going to be so comfortable with our sexuality and with the word sex. It's a taboo, and we're trying to get to the root of that. So say sex and more sex. Awesome. All right. So we're going to start. Miss Denise Hamilton Wright. She's going to start with an opening prayer. So Denise, the floor is yours. You could stand wherever you want to, wherever you're comfortable.
Heavenly Father, we give you all the praises. We magnify and glorify your name. We thank you for this gathering, dear God. We ask that you present awareness, help us to learn ourselves and learn others. We ask you to continue to guide us, dear God. We thank you for Marie Dunn. We thank you for her gift that she's given to others. And we ask you to continue to bless her so she can bless others as well, dear God. Dear God, we magnify you. We thank you. We thank you for this day. Because of you, we are here today. And we just lift you up and we just want to say thank you. Thank you for this gathering. Thank you for everything that we're going to learn today and the things we're going to share today. In Jesus' name, we ask for your continuous blessing. Amen.
Amen. Sex, love it. So everyone knows that I am so connected to my God because without God, I would not be here. We would not be here. So I always have to give praises to the higher power and to bring him into my presence wherever I am because I think it's so important. Before we get started, I really want to say thank you to a few people. It's really important for me. And I have my clipboard like a little schoolgirl because I want to make sure I have all my talking points and I'm not missing anything. So first, of course, I'm thanking God. Then I'm thanking me. I'm thanking myself because I'm celebrating me today. Too often we don't do that. I believed in myself. I believed in my vision. And I think it's so important for us to be able to do that. People are not going to always see your vision. And like I always like to say, you can't show a blind man your vision because they're not going to see it. But you just believe in yourself. And once you believe in yourself, it could happen. And throughout this evening, you're all going to see how I have flourished, how I have grown through whatever it is. Life is filled with challenges. So it's not going to change. But it's how we rise from those challenges that determine where we go from here. So, without further ado, I'm going to thank my very opinionated mother, Ina, and my sisters, Rakisha and Katrina. To my heart in human form, my awesome brother, Javon, I thank you. To my dad, I know he's very, very proud of me. And I'm getting emotional because he doesn't know how to say that to me. But that's okay. And this is what I want us to understand as well. It's okay for us to feel those emotions. But those emotions should strengthen us. Miss Robinson?
It's Ray Lalani.
Go ahead.
Ray Lalani.
Ray Lalani, I'm humbled by your consistency and the way you've been so authentic. You keep it real with me. I know sometimes you're a little over me, but you've never made me feel that way. And for that, I am super thankful. Miss Crockett, you're sort of my right and die. And I appreciate you. And thank you for making me a better person and learning you, understanding you, and not taking anything personal, but loving you. So thank you for that. To Alicia and Crystal, I pick up the phone, I call, and you guys say where and when. No questions asked. Thank you all. I appreciate it. To Andrea and Denise, thank you guys for always being there in my presence, showing me love when I need it the most. I may not always feel it, but I know that you guys are there in spirit, and I'm so grateful for that. To Everett David, Ricardo Forrest, Judith Wright, and Carol Thomas, these are people who have been in my corner, and they've supported me in the back burner, and I'm so grateful for that. To my graphic designer, Peter Sean Palmer, I'm so thankful for her. I give her an idea, and she creates my book covers, capturing my vision. It's not all the time that you find people that listens to you and is willing to work with you. So I'm super thankful for her. To my IT crew, Brian Lincook, Taj, Hefner Daniels, and Javon Dunn, thank you all so much because I think I'm allergic to technology. I'm so afraid of it. But COVID has taught me that I have no choice. I had to adjust and I had to make it work. So thank you and shout out to my IT team. To music, Stunner Entertainment and Freddie Guzman, thank you all so much. Last night I was literally in the studio doing my audio version. I did not leave there until midnight. And this is when you have your vision, you can't let anybody get in the way. You got to be dedicated and you're going to have to make sacrifices. I start my day at 4:30. Why I start my day at 4:30? I have a full-time job because I haven't made the millions yet that I'm going to be making. So in the meantime, I have to keep my full-time job. So I start at 4:30 in the morning with a routine. I do my workout and then I give time to my business because it's so important. So by 7 o'clock, I'm ready and in work mode. Again, that's a part of sacrifice. Nothing comes easy. You got to be willing to make that sacrifice to get there. To my legal team, he's not here, Mr. N4, thank you so much. I have recognized that the simplest mistake that you make or you overlook something, it could cause you dollars and cents, lots of it. So I have been working to make sure I create my brand, I trademark what it is that I'm doing, because like I said, my millions is just waiting. It's coming around the corner. So I'm basically laying the foundation. So when I get to that point, I got it. I don't want Penguin Publishing House come knocking at my door and say, hey, what's going on? So I make sure I do what it is that I need to do. To my marketing team, he's not here today, Anthony Turner, thank you so much. And of course, to my photographer, he's right over there. I have been working with this guy since I started my vision. I initially wanted to do my book launch on the 3rd. He wasn't available. He's available today, so I made it happen. because he gets it, he understands, and it's not about the money for him. It's about his passion, and he understands. And of course, to Garfield from RPM Studio, that's in Jamaica. All those beautiful shots you all see me posting on Instagram, he's awesome, and I'm so thankful. And to my health and wellness coach, I need you up here. Come on up. It's okay. Just step on over. Step on the rose petals. It's okay. I think it was so important for me to do this. This is a part of my healing journey. In January, I was going to take a shower, and when I looked in the mirror, I hated what I saw. I realized I needed help. I couldn't do this by myself. And I solicited his help. He's a health and wellness coach. And I said to him, I need to get on my health and wellness journey. He said, say no more. But he was also honest. He's like, I'm not going to take you on as a client as yet. I'm going to have you try for 5 days. And if you're successful with my liquid fast for 5 days, then you're my client. And I said to him, I said, don't worry. You could sign me because I'm going to be your client. Today is day 88. I lost 13 pounds. And I'm super snatched. Thank you. It's such a pleasure. Thank you. So the moral of that story, anything that you want, and from the Jamaican folks, anything you want in a life, only can get it. You just have to be willing to make the sacrifices. So without further ado, I am going to get this party started. A little backstory. And today is super important to me, April 17th. When I wanted to launch my first book, the date was April 17th. Unfortunately, that very same year, my dad had a massive stroke. I had no idea that it would have gotten to that point. And I stopped my life. My daddy taught me how to love. When you love somebody, it's not about being there when everything is good. It's about making yourself uncomfortable. It's about making sacrifices. It's about having sleepless nights. And it's about being there, just in the physical presence of that individual. This is also part of the theme of Tease, about communication, about love, about togetherness, about intimacy. Sometimes we get into relationships and we get into these entanglements for the wrong reason. But my daddy, he's taught me what it is to love endlessly. And I'm super thankful for that. Today, I stand here. I have not one, not two, but I actually have 3 books under my belt and counting. By the end of the year, I should have 6 books out. Bold, Her Liberation, this is my first book. Tease, this is the book we're here to celebrate today. And I have my journal, 99 plus inspirational thoughts. The purpose of my journal, journaling saved me. Ever since I had a traumatic incident in 2017, bear with me. I have been journaling my thoughts and my feelings. Writing has been my safe space. Writing is therapy. Writing helps me to self-reflect. It helps me to analyze myself and do those detailed assessments. So I decided, why not? And I believe I'm a very inspirational person. So I decided to share it with the world. So you all can get on the bandwagon and start journaling your thoughts as well and your feelings. So I think I've spoken enough. So Mr. DJ, let's put on some music, and my panelists, I want you all to gather over here where you're feeling comfortable. Or let me show. Okay. So just sit on over here, please, and then we're going to get started with the rest of this evening. Who's starting? You gotta get up. So we're gonna have like a little roundtable, have a conversation. Damn, we gotta put the music. I just realized I left out somebody very important. Where's Jerry? Jerry, Mr. McDonald. Yeah. Sorry. Hello, everyone again. So, my sincere apologies. That's okay. So, Mr. Jerry McDonald here, he is the founder of Coffee Bay Restaurant. He is making a difference, he's making an impact, and he's walking in his purpose. He is unconventional. He's unconventional, and I just wanted to take the time out to say thank you for giving me this space to have this celebration. It means so much to me, and I'm super thankful. Thank you. Do you have a few words you'd like to say?
Later on. You're not leaving, are you?
No.
Later on.
Okay, all right. So you all are comfortable now? You all are ready? Where is my notebook?
Free guys anyway.
That's fine.
Bro, you ready? You know what you're up against over there?
One man against the world.
I just want to make sure you prepared.
Better put on a life jacket.
Never seen you before. You know what?
Well, everybody tell me to behave myself. Control picture.
All right, so we're ready.
Yes. Sting. Sting. Oh my God.
I was thinking the same thing.
So are we ready? Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Be ready.
You ready? You ready? She's super ready.
Trying to
Now,
for Instagram
All right,
is a
guys.
little closer than.
Yeah. You know, I can't.
Anybody have any more?
Are you going to Skype yourself?
I love it. No, the
Thank you.
cameras is on. She quiet. That's all we
Don't
do.
love my more down.
We don't traumatize kids.
Somebody there?
Just give us a minute. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Thank you.
Can I corner? The corner is nice. Corner. You don't know? It's not so bad now. It's not so bad. You can't keep on the life jacket on.
Take your jacket off.
Do you need a safe word?
Yeah. Yeah, what's your safe word?
Let's go.
The safe word is tease. Yeah. Or sex.
Your safe word. It's not me. It wasn't me, Jeff. It wasn't.
No means no. When she says no, let her be. Do not allow your ego to influence your actions. It's her right, her right to decide, to consent or not. Her vulnerability does not mean yes. Skimply dressed is not an invitation to violate. Non-judgmental. Your perception does not give you the right to decide for her. Her silence is not yes. Drunk yeses and here, red lips, pink lips. It's not a request for interaction. It's no. Let her be. Stop. Do not make a conjecture. It's her body. Yes. No means no. Do not violate it, even if she's not.
Thanks for that. So, this month is also Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And I think it's so important for us to get that awareness in. Throughout, statistics shows that more than 1 in 3 women experience sexual violence involving physical contact during their lifetime. My book, Tease, even though it has that sexual nature, it's also about helping women to recognize that they have agency over their bodies. When we say no, it's no. We also must recognize that even on social media, you could be sexually harassed. Awareness is the key, and knowing when to say to stop. Sometimes as women, we're instigators. It's still not a right for a man to violate us. And I want us to bear that in mind. I'm from Jamaica. In Jamaica, crime and violence against women is literally on the rise. It's a part of our ignorance. Our culture perpetuates that sort of behavior too. We have this gallus mentality, and we have to start reprogramming our minds. Our brothers, this is how they were raised, to objectify women. We are objects, we're targets. Pretty much we're here to just service them. But I'm here to tell everyone, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not here for that. I'm a bold, courageous, and confident woman. And I want all my sisters to get to that point. To number 1, take charge of your sexual urges. Take charge of your orgasms. It's so important. And again, it starts with self, understanding who you are, the deep exploration of the intimate self, knowing your body. I guarantee you, if I should get the men in here undressed, I'm going to make you all very uncomfortable because we need to do that. If I get the men in here undressed and I get the women in here undressed and I'm showing the lower parts of your body, exposing your penis and your vagina, I guarantee you, if I ask the men to show me their penis, they'll be able to pick it out. But chances are, if I ask the women to do the same thing, they're not going to be able to do that. Some of us. My apologies. We know that, Andrea. My apologies. But for the average woman, because I'm talking about my experience. I'm 44. Well, technically, I'm 21, right? Anyhow, it took me a while. It's when I got injured and I was home and I plunged into depression and I had no choice. That's when I explored my body. I started masturbating and feeling good about it and realizing it's fine. Be quiet. Right? Being able to pleasure ourselves, right, is important as well. Why is it important? If you don't know what turns you on, how are you going to have that fulfilling and that great sex in your relationship when you can't tell your significant other or your partner to touch you here and to tease you and to please you? You can't. You're going to be at his mercy. He is going to give you what he, and for some men, what he thinks you want. And that's the sad part about this. And we got to change that. Because for men, for the most part, some men, it's about pleasuring themselves. Again, like I started saying, we are just here to service our men. This is how we were programmed. It's historically. That's how we men were raised. We're just here, technically, to procreate. Technically, that's how they see us. But now we've gone into the area where we are like it's so much for pleasure, but we don't understand that sex is sacred, it's spiritual, and we gotta take care of the vaginas. Pussy is power, excuse my French. We gotta know it, understand it, and it's okay. I'm standing here today, and guess what? Not everybody agrees with what I'm doing, but that's okay because this is my experience. I had to figure out who I was. And once I did, I am just glowing. And I'm just the happiest person. I don't need anybody to make me happy. Last night in the studio, it's the first time I've ever experienced induced orgasm. And it felt good. I did it all by myself. It felt really good. So I want us to know that it's okay. It is okay. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over now, panel. But it's just a matter, I really wanted to take it to really recognize and honor that it's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And a lot of times, even the rape cases, it's not documented. Women feel silence because it's such a traumatic experience and they don't feel safe to share that. Because society, there's that stigma and how you should feel. Maya Angelou, she is my inspiration. And Maya Angelou, a lot of us don't realize Maya Angelou was raped and she was silenced for 7 years because of that traumatic experience. Maya Angelou was a sex worker. A lot of us don't know that, but she did not put it under the closet. She used that as a way to inspire herself. And she found her voice and she never stopped talking. Well, I found my voice and I'm not going to shut up. And I'm going to do it unapologetically. I am bold, brilliantly overcoming life's disappointments. I'm going to have those courageous conversations, and it's okay. And I am Tease. Okay. All right, so now to my lovely panelists. Thank you all so much. I am going to give you all the opportunity to please introduce yourself. And remember, it's okay. You guys are so brave to be able to have this conversation with me. And I am truly humbled. So I'm going to start from my right with the beautiful redhead, fire redhead.
Orange.
Yes.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Denise Wright Hamilton. What can I say about myself? I am currently a wife, a mother of 3.
4.
No, I adopted one over there, so yeah. a mother adopted one, yes. My son Michael is my first. He's 30 years of age. My daughter is 25, and I think so, yeah. And my son, which is my wash belly, he's 14 years of age. I have an awesome husband. We've been married for 17 years. Yes, 17 years, yeah. And the funniest thing about that, we used to go to school together. I've seen his relationships, he has seen mine, and now we're together. I'm also a CEO for a barbershop, Celebrity 5-Star Unisex Barbershop on Burke Avenue. I'm currently in school, working on my doctorate. My bachelor's is in educational psychology, my master's in public health, and now I am doing business psychology. Um, and pretty much, I'm a God-fearing woman. I've been a member of my church, United Methodist, Westchester United Methodist Church for 20 years. I'm very active in the children ministry. I'm a lay servant, and I believe in God Almighty. I give him thanks. I give him all the praise for being here. And what else can I say about myself? Pretty much my beautiful parents. I'm from Jamaica, West Indies, a nice, beautiful island. My parents, I love them to death. My mother and father have been together for over 47 years. I have my brothers. I'm the only girl. Yay. I'm spoiled. Yeah, I'm the only girl, and pretty much that's basically it.
You're a twin.
I'm a twin, yes, I'm a twin. A boy, that's why I'm the only girl, thank God. His name is Dennis. He's my twin, he's in Maryland. I love him to death as well. But did I forget anything? That's basically it. Thank you.
You still like sex?
You're welcome.
You still like sex?
What? See, like is an understatement. I love sex.
Okay. Just
Okay?
wanted to be clear.
Sex for me is necessity. I gotta have sex. I want me to eat too.
Bang, bang.
Thank you. Tiger bomb.
Thank you so much, Miss Hamilton.
Thank you.
So now we have the only gentleman in the pack, and we're trying to get him comfortable. But no, go right ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael. Also go by the name Splash. Make money from this. Love playing tennis, love to travel. Best sex can happen also on vacation.
Huh?
Last part.
Grew up in the church.
Go back a little further.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
I said I love to travel.
And the best
So
sex.
the best sex can happen on vacation.
That is true.
So that's one reason why I always get that. I grew up in the church in Jamaica. I'm currently agnostic. So I still believe in some higher power. I believe women get more from certain things. I try my best to understand from a woman's perspective a lot. I support this type of movement, in terms of more be more vocal about, women's sexual liberation and violence against women. There's a lot more I can do as a man. I guess we're just being here to share my opinion as well. I love music. I love poetry, love reading. Love watching documentaries. Lived in California for a while, so I was exposed to wide variety of relationship types that I wasn't exposed to when I lived in Jamaica. So even now I consider myself polyamorous.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right then. Thank you so much. So, beautiful lady.
Hi everyone, I'm Ray. I'm a mother of 4. I am a divorcee, looking for husband number 2. And husband number 2, you better have stamina. Because as a woman, I'm not the type of woman who finds sex as a taboo. I am sexually free. I know my body. I discovered my body at age 12.
Whoa.
And I would encourage every woman to do that. My children, they're aware of themselves as well because growing up, my mom, my dad, nobody, taught me about sex and, your menstrual and I just did all of that on my own. So I made it a point of my duty to teach my children. My daughter, she's 12 going on 13. She started her period at 10, and it wasn't a shock for her because she knew what it was. It was more a shock for me. But that's who I am. I'm free. I'm liberated. No man can tell me what to do. The only time you find me submissive is in the bed, and that's like maybe 90%. So that's me.
Thank you so much. And the blonde.
Hi, good night. My name is Andrea, divorcee too. Yeah. I'm a mother of 2. My daughter will be 20 tomorrow. And my son is going to be 31 on Tuesday. Don't ask me my age.
You're 21.
I'm 21. I didn't have my son in my teens. I believe in exploring yourself. I didn't start puberty till late, and so growing up as a teenager, 17, no breasts, no form of nothing. So and I learned to accept my body as how it was, and I learned to accept my body even though as it is. Growing up, I was a very slim girl, so I try to keep myself in that manner because I'm very active.
Can we get clarification in terms of what is activities? I'm just kidding.
I'm very active. I haven't been in a relationship for a good while, but the line went under the bell recently.
That's when we had all that rain and the storm.
I am so dumb for that.
And when time you find somebody where know your body and know like all of the, like your body's like pepper lights, and the pepper lights have different motion, yeah, flash, yeah, blink. It's like pepper light, and you want to run. Yes. So when you find yourself a good partner, to carry through all of those pepper light motion.
You notice that she forgot to tell you where she works.
That's important to her.
We're watching another decision. Okay. I'm not bragging or boasting, but I'm very talented.
Yes.
I've been through a lot. I was once a hairdresser. I was once a chef, once a teacher. Now I'm doing meds. I'm in the health field now. Love it. All of them, I love it. I design my own clothes. I sew too. Did my $10 shoe. This looks great. Thank you. Yeah, very gifted. I believe that we as women, I love what Marie's doing because a lot of times
it's Toya today.
Toya, okay. I love what Toya is doing because a lot of times we as women, we have our partners and we're afraid to tell them what we like. We just lie there and take it. Not me. You like what you like. Me like what I like. And when you're done with your what you like, you can give me what I like. So as women, we're not supposed to settle when it come on to love making.
Not true.
And don't settle.
And continue.
Don't settle. No, me love what me like.
Exactly.
Me love to flicker.
Yeah.
YouTube. Yes.
Instagram.
And a lot of times,
So
you
I'm probably
and your
trying to
partner
adjust it
make
because
love.
Splash, splash.
Flash light, tell about pepper light.
Okay.
Your body going through different motion. You ever feel sometimes when you're going through an orgasm, some of the orgasms you go the twitch.
Admiral, thank you so much for the details.
Stop it.
Put you on pause because we're gonna need some of that information as we get into the meat of the conversation. But you all, thank you so much. Jazz, I'm gonna invite you all now to watch a quick YouTube clip.
You need to send her back.
Send it back where? Can you get some water?
Did we learn it in sex education class? Or did we just learn about STDs, right? Or how not to become pregnant? Did our parents talk to us about pleasure? Now, as babies, all we know is pleasure. Hands down pants, it just feels good. It has nothing to do with sex until somebody says, don't touch yourself. Don't touch yourself. Then as we get older, if we're teenagers and we express an interest in sex, what do we call it? Sluts, right? And we still, even today, surprisingly, even today, we still hear those kinds of comments. We celebrate male gratification, but we shame women for the same. We still have negative messages that come to us from our families, from our culture, from religion. They're still out there. And then as we grow up into adults and have relationships, we're magically supposed to love it. I cannot tell you how often I see women in my office, and that's women of all ages, who come in saying they have an issue with orgasm, either because they're not seeing fireworks and they expect it, or because they're not having orgasms with intercourse. And they come in saying, I have a problem. And then I ask them about their own pleasure when they self-pleasure and say, okay, no problem with that. But yet they still think they have a problem with orgasm. Then there's the issue of desire, another common issue. Desire is not constant for most of us. It doesn't stay static throughout a life cycle. It fluctuates, and sometimes quite drastically. Unfortunately, I all too often see women who come and see me because, or talk to me then, who tell me they see sex as a chore, something that they have to give, not something that they share, not something that they even take. That usually happens when one partner has a lot more desire than the other. And in situations like that, women will avoid sex, they'll avoid intimacy. It leaves them feeling frustrated, it leaves them feeling lonely, it leaves their partners feeling frustrated and lonely. And they wonder, what's wrong with me? Do I not love my partner? Am I not attracted to my partner? But of course, when we start talking, they are attracted to their partner. They do love their partner. In fact, when they have sex, they do enjoy it. So what's the problem? Obviously, if you're in a lousy relationship, a dysfunctional relationship, or you're resentful with your partner, you're not going to have any desire for your partner. But what about those of us who are in relationships that are happy, generally speaking? What's going on? What's going on is that we need to understand how desire works in women. Mostly women, I'm going to tell you. Not that it doesn't change like that for men, but I would say about 75% of women and 25% of men. Desire for women is no longer spontaneous in long-term relationships, for the most part. And long-term relationships, that could be at any age. And studies have shown us that long-term means 6 months to 18 months when that in-lust feeling kind of goes away. So we lose that spontaneous desire, the feeling of being horny, that feeling below the belt, and it starts to matter more above the neck, really, or above the waist, the heart and the head. And our desire becomes more responsive, which means when our partner stimulates us, we respond to that stimulation and our desire kicks in. That's what triggers the desire. So what do? We have to commit to it. We have to choose sexuality. You have to choose it knowing that it's good for you, knowing that you're going to feel good with it, and that it gives you pleasure. But it's a conscious effort to choose sexuality. I'm going to give you a little example, which will give you an idea. At least it works for me. So how many of you here love going to the gym, especially like before your day? All right, a couple of people. I mean, really, those are the gym rats in the room. Most of us, I think most of us, it takes quite an effort to get going to the gym, right? So your alarm goes off at, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and you know you got to get that workout in before the day. You get out of bed, you're like, oh, I have to go to the gym, and then you get your gym clothes on. Once your gym clothes are on, you're not going back to bed. You generally don't. So you go to the gym, you work out. That workout always feels good. It feels good, you feel energized, you say, wow, that was great, I gotta do this again tomorrow, I love it. Okay, tomorrow comes and your alarm bell goes off at 5 a.m. Are you gonna spring out of bed? No, even though you loved it, right? You don't have a spontaneous desire to go to the gym. Make sense? All right. The next step to achieving really a good sexuality is an understanding of our bodies. There's mostly ladies here, right? How many of you, and I want a show of hands, be honest, if we lined up all your vulvas in a lineup, that's like the whole bit part, we line them all up naked, how many of you would be able to pick yours out? Okay, a handful. There's a few guys. I see a couple of guys in the room. If we lined up the penises, I guarantee you every single one would pick them out, right? I knew it. As women, we are blessed with an organ that is only for sexual pleasure. That's it. It's called the clitoris. As you can see here, it's not just a little tip that you feel. It is an entire structure. 75% of us, women, will not, cannot orgasm through intercourse alone. Doesn't matter if you're thrusting for 10 minutes or 10 freaking hours. It's not going to work, okay? We need clitoral stimulation to get us there. That's really important. And interestingly, the latest research shows that the women who have orgasms through intercourse, the distance between the vaginal opening and the clitoris is shorter. So they're getting more pressure. So the clitoris has to be involved. Make sense? Okay. But yet, I see women all the time. When I tell them these two facts, that desire is responsive rather than spontaneous, that they will not orgasm through intercourse, the sense of relief, the look of relief is really priceless. And they're like, you mean I'm normal? You mean all this time? I thought there was something wrong with you. So retain those two facts if you will. Important. We are more normal than we think. Sexual health is a human right according to the World Health Organization, and that involves sexual pleasure. Giving up on sex hurts us. It hurts our relationships. It hurts us physically even. Studies show that people who engage in sex regularly live longer, work better, feel better, and have better relationships. So we don't want to give up on it. So what is the secret? The secret is understanding, there's really no big secret, right? But the secret is understanding that sexuality, our sexuality is ever evolving. It changes. What feels good at one time may not feel good at another time. Our desire may be high one time, not so much another time. Within relationships, within ourselves. So this is the most important thing to retain, is that it evolves. We must reclaim pleasure. We must prioritize our pleasure. That's my teaching.
Awesome. I'm actually going to read a piece from my book. Janet, look at that. It's untitled. He bruised her skin with naked flesh. Her body trembled. Wicked sensation pumped in her veins. Tilted head showed off her nude neck. She exposed her inner smile on his skyscraper with the arch of her back. Tongue traced the length of her body. He touched her with naked fingers. Her eyes closed. He entered, lost in a sinful plea. He felt her insides. The rush, the touch, the push, the unprotected dance. Bodies pressed against each other, drenched in sweat. He licked her flesh like a hungry animal. He ate her cookie. Her eyes rolled back in her forehead. He swallowed. She screamed, held his head. He drove her to ecstasy. Yes. When two people have chemistry mixed with visual stimuli, this can lead to arousal and deep pleasure.
Amen.
You all just watch the clip. Reclaim your pleasure. We deserve it. We deserve to have great sex. Not just any sex. Back-breaking sex, earth-shattering sex. It's important. And again, it's not only about having sex. It's about being healthy. It's about being healthy and making healthy choices. As I've evolved in myself as a woman and find that confidence, I realized I had no business taking off my clothes when I did sometimes. Sometimes I wish I could take back some of my sex.
Yes.
And it's because now I'm a woman, I understand the sacredness of sex and the spirituality of sex. I realize that I have to value my vagina. It is power. It's a blessing. You can't just share yourself just because you want to share yourself. And I'm going to turn it over to my panelists. What do you like most about Tease? And what was your takeaway? And everybody, I want everybody to answer that.
What I like about Tease is that I like that it's most women who were closed off where sex is concerned. You know, it wasn't happening to them. They're confessing, you know, all the negative things that they grew up with and realizing that they have that right to really want to be sexual. And that's what I like about it. And I like that it's making women realize that they can have sex and then fulfill those fantasies. What I take away from it, it's the
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like the fact that the book, like the book is urging you to say what you want, to explore yourself don't settle for anything. Don't settle for less. Let your partner or your partner know what you like. It teaches. It is trying to tell you that it's okay to be you. It's okay to let go. It's okay to be free. Because a lot of times, women have been intercourse with a guy, and she feels that, oh, if she tells the guy to do certain things, he's gonna feel less of her. They rather the men introduce it to them than they tell the men what they want. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I'm gonna tell you what I want.
Gentlemen, any hats, socks, t-shirts,
No, go.
Excuse me.
Go.
Yes. So a lot of times women wait until the men introduce certain things to the relationship than them telling them what they want.
And sometimes the women don't like it, but because they don't want to offend the man, or I think the man
No,
might
if I don't like
somebody else,
that, I don't like that. And there's a lot of things that we as women don't really like doing in intercourse, but because we want to please our partner, we go ahead with it. And if that's the case, the sex is not going to be great because you're going to be uncomfortable while having intercourse. And if you're uncomfortable, the climax that you're supposed to get is not going to reach that high. So in a relationship, when you have the man bringing his suggestion, woman bringing her back. So the book is telling us that don't settle and it's okay to try things. It's okay to say, no, I want this. It's okay to say, no, I don't want that. And no me no.
What I like most importantly about Tease is that it's a give and take. It's both ways. It shows you that the reason why it has an impact on me because first of all, I'm spoiled. And I was mean. I wanted to be pleased, and I didn't want to please back. So it took a while for me to get to that point where I have to understand my man. I have to learn him. And it was very selfish of me to just want him to please me. I've always been with men who please me. But when you reflect and you think about it, okay, there's something that they want too. And until they express it, because I've never been with a man who just wants to just like put his bus off or just have their time, their happy ending. I always had a man that's so mature that he will please me. But I never, like I first stated, thought about how to please. And your book, even though I'm 47 years of age, I'm still learning. We're still learning because we're still living, right? But in this book, Toya's book, it taught me that there are ways, not only physically, but mentally, to stimulate yourself and your man. And that was very important to me. Part of the stimulating. What I took away from this, what is a gem to me of this is that it sounds cliche, you're learning a man while you're earning a man. It's so true. It is so true. And with this book, it taught me that I have to continue to learn, be creative, be spontaneous, be sporadical. Even this could be creative too. Maybe he likes a little pressure, like that. Yeah. But this book, and it's so elegant too, the way it presents itself.
It's not raw.
It's not
Raw, raw.
Exactly. My kind of porn book. Yeah. So I really appreciate what it does for awareness for women, for myself. And it's not for me, it's not even a woman empowerment or a man empowerment, it's a human empowerment. Yeah. Like I said, it's a give and take. So I really love that part of it.
I agree with that.
Yes.
So we have the men in the hot seat over there.
Well, Tease.
Uh-oh, yeah. Right. Cable body jacket, yeah.
So Tease, aside from it being my single, what I like most about this book is a few things. One, the creative style that you use to write. And I noticed that in your first book. This book helped me to appreciate it a lot more. And I like anything. I like most things that's out the box. And I see your own brand in this. Aside from that, the detail that's in this book, I feel like the women, they can speak about the experience from their point of view and how the book impacts them. But I would tell men to get this book because, for example, I didn't grow up reading fantasy novels or romantic novels. I'm not necessarily saying this is that, but this has taught me that, hey, you know what, maybe you should pay a lot more to the details. Yes, she might wear a red dress, but could you tell what material it is or something like that? Just dig a little bit deeper, because it's exactly what women are thinking, or what it is that they want, what they're expressing, and I like the fact that I put this in a book for us men, and I can speak again for men, for me to read this book and understand a lot more. Like, hey, this is the things women like. This is what they're into. So I'm happy that you're able to put this here. You're liberated enough and brave enough and bold enough to put it on paper for for the public to read it, feel comfortable about expressing themselves in ways that they feel the same way. And I like another thing about this book. It's very sexual, but there's an element to it. I'm not sure if it's your brand or the book itself, where it allows us as men to realize that there's a need for us as men to speak up against, the things that women find as important, and some things that needs to be said. Like, for example, speaking up against violence against women and stuff like that. And that a liberated woman doesn't necessarily mean a free woman for you. So there's a lot of things I take away from this book. I still have a lot more time to go through it, but I enjoy it to read this.
Thank you all so much. And in the process of writing Tease, because I actually have Bold 2, I put that on pause. That's ready. That will be out in the summer. I put it on pause because, like Michael said, I wanted to provide some sort of clarification and guidance to my readers, because I think with me out of nowhere just coming out with a bold her liberation and just tackling subject that is so taboo that people are not comfortable with, it was misinterpreted. And I like to say, I want people to understand that don't confuse my art with the artist. It's two separate things. And today I'm here to also clarify. Toya is the author, the social worker, the woman that's so liberated and free. Then Marie is actually the publisher. She is the mastermind behind this. She's the businesswoman. And it's okay to have an alter ego. That's something that most are not comfortable talking about. But again, like I said, I'm here to make people uncomfortable so that eventually you're going to get comfortable with it, because it's so important. You may say, like, normally if you talk about you have another personality, they're going to say you're schizo. But maybe I'm schizo, and that's okay. Because it works for me. It works for me. Because I think it's like sometimes I'm in my house, I have conversations with myself, and it's okay. So with further ado, I'm going to turn it over now. I think coming from Jamaica, and like I said, it is such a taboo in our culture. It's not something that's been talked about. I'm throwing this out there. Was sex discussed in your family growing up? And if so, what was the dialogue?
Yes.
Don't take no man.
In my family, when you could talk to a boy, you were going to get pregnant. That was the biggest fear. You will get him pregnant. And them being that ignorant and uneducated and not knowing that, sitting with whomever it is, the child, girl, boy, or whatever, and having that discussion about sex and the pleasures of sex, the good and the bad about sex, and how to protect yourself. But I forgive my parents and I forgive my grandparents because I know that they didn't know any better. But being the person that I am, I paid attention to things like that. Growing up, when I had my period, I was so freaking scared. And all my mom did was give me a pad and put it on. And that was it. Nobody taught me about if you have sex, you're gonna get pregnant, how to protect yourself, how to use a condom, how to use contraceptives, stuff like that. It's just don't talk to any boys. Because if you talk to a boy, you'll get pregnant. As simple as that. And just like that. And my cousins, they grew up because right now I have a cousin, she's like 30 something. If you see her, she looks like she's 12. And she is so closed off, and it brings out this sneakiness in them where sex is concerned. My sisters and I, we're different. We are more liberated, and we talk about things amongst each other when it has to do with sex, who we sleep with, whatever. That's the kind of conversations my sisters and I have. My cousins, they don't. They bring up stuff like that and they shun away from it. So it's a thing of me teaching my children, because I don't want to be a parent like that. I want my kids to be educated and knowledgeable about sex. So my boys, from a very young age, they would knew where babies came from. If not start no carrying a baby, come get them. They know the baby come from vagina and they see how it come out. And they know how to put on a condom, and from an early age as well. And one thing I teach my boys: don't let no woman put on a condom for you. Put on a condom yourself, because you have some sneaky women out there. They want baby. They will make hole another condom. I teach my boys that. My daughter, she knows, because even today we were having a conversation and she just sat there because she knows that this is how mommy is, and she knows everything. So because I want her to be prepared when she goes out there and have to interact with a male or whomever she wants to interact with. So growing up, I had to learn about sex all on my own. As I said, I discovered myself. I started masturbating at age 12, and my friend taught me. And over the years, I discovered different ways of masturbating. So when I meet a guy, I'm like, you can't fuck me if you make me come, because I can't make myself come. What else can you offer? Can you stimulate me mentally? Because for me now, I'm at the age now where mental stimulation turns me on. It's not just the physical anymore. So if you come out and say something stupid, you did not get this pussy. So,
thank you. Well, fortunately, my mom, we're like sisters. She never shied away. Her greatest fear was me learning from outside. She wanted to pretty much prepare me for the world. She wasn't really like into details, but with my menses, just like what you did with your daughter, even the color of my panty, what color panties to wear when I have my menses, always to have a little care package, like what you do with your daughter as well. She tricked me though. She did trick me. She said, "Oh, Adata, whenever you're ready to have sex, whenever you're ready to have intercourse, just come to me. Go get the birth controls and be like a fool, like an idiot." 16 years of age. Mommy, I have a boyfriend. I think I'm ready to be intimate. You what? She shut it down. Completely shut it down. I folded. I felt betrayed. Because I really thought that she was really serious. I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling myself, She told me about pregnancy, that she don't feel like I'm mature or ready for that kind of life and so forth. But I still didn't listen. I had my child when I was 17 and a half, but he matured me, thank God. I would never change anything because of him. I graduated high school with a big stomach. I went to college. I did what I needed to do. He was my motivation. Had I not had my son Michael Green today, I don't think I would be where I'm at right now. He was my strength, But yeah, my mom, she's like, and my daughter. I had coworkers. They were like, "You tell your daughter this. You tell your daughter that." I said, "Yeah." So who else would I tell her? I don't want anybody to trick my daughter out there. I don't want anybody to trick my son, anyone. So I was very fortunate. My mom is very open. My dad is he's very reserved. He's kind of shy and stuff, but my mom tells me everything. She's a type that will tell me, but she doesn't go into details like how my daughter could teach me a trick or two now. We have more experience now. So I guess my mother told me what she knew then, As far as pleasing yourself and sexual pleasure, she didn't go into detail. She just told you about the birds and the bees, which not the birds and bees, the sex, the penis and the vagina, pregnancies and how to take care of yourself, hygiene and so forth. I cried when I found out that I was growing. At 13 years of age, I was still playing with dolls. When I realized that I was something just woke up one morning and it's like I didn't want to play with dolls any longer. And it kind of shocked me because I still want to be a kid, But I'm telling you, when that 15 hit you, you're promiscuous, you're all over the place, your hormones is thrown everywhere, little titties are popping, hormones are up and down, and then forget about dolls. You said, what dolls? No, you want little boyfriends. And that's how it was for me, but I thank my mom, I really do, for that support. It wasn't a topic. My mom, she really spoke about it, everything, but not into, like I said, the pleasure, how to please. Maybe that's why I'm so spoiled, and I just wanted a man to please me. I didn't want a father to please me.
Well, I'm the fourth of 8. So, growing up, my mom, she never really tell us anything about that. So I had to piggyback off of my 3 elder sisters. So, I learned from their mistakes, and they were the one who tell me like this is it, whatever. I think that's why most of my sisters get pregnant in their teen. I think I was the only member of my family that didn't got pregnant in my teen, because the mistake that I see they made when I was growing up, I didn't want to make that mistake. So I shunned away. I was a tomboy until I was like 19, climb tree, all sorts of stuff, make slingshot, everything. Straight up tomboy. I was with boys. I had a name. The people in the neighborhood usually, oh, she did it. But in reality, they didn't know me. Those guys were like my bro. I was like one of the guys too. So, they never ever even cross paths to say like, Andrea is this and Andrea is that. They just had me as a boy. So, when I had my daughter, my son, I taught my son one thing. I said to him, whenever you're ready for a relationship, this is how you need to treat a woman. If you step over the line, remember you have a mother. And how you would like a man to treat your mother, you need to treat your woman just like that. And, these two can vouch for him. He's the sweetest thing ever.
Too bad I'm not a cougar.
Yes.
Outside voice.
If you ever see let me be a grandma now.
Congratulations.
Yes. And the way I see he treats his girlfriend, oh my God, not yet. She's getting it next month. The way I see he treats his girlfriend, it touches my heart, because I said to myself, why can't Jesus you chat too much?
Edit is live stream.
Jesus. Anyway, I said to myself when I see how he treats his girlfriend, oh my God, why couldn't you find a man treat me so nice? Him tell her she wanted us to go back to work, and him said, no, I got you. And remember, he's in Jamaica. He's not here. And he tell her, no, take care of her daughter. I got you. And spoil her rotten. Him don't really make her do much. But even if she wants to try, him try to shut her down. And I like that. We as women sometimes like to be treated like that. You know what I'm saying?
All the time.
But you like to do things to myself.
I still do, but I still
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So with my daughter now, when I see she starts, you have dirty penis, I have clean penis. Yes, I give her it raw. I said, don't put any penis in her mouth. She didn't like the conversation, but I gave it to her.
It was okay to put it in her mouth.
Yes.
Okay. I like
I
that.
did not tell her don't put it in her mouth.
I like that.
Yes. And These children nowadays, they're more
They're involved in
more than me and you, the old folks, they make me look like we're there trying. So I have to give her it raw. And I said to her, you gotta take care of your body. I mean, I said, pretty face, she's a beautiful girl. I said, pretty face is not all. If don't the sun arise, you're gonna be like a turning page in a book. You know, when you read some book, you don't want to read it and then just a turn the page. Don't be like that. That when a man sees you and you're in a relationship with someone, he wants you for you and don't want you to just down there. So, and it's that
Vagina, we could say.
Pum pum. So, in reality, we as parents, we need to teach our kids that it's not okay for certain thing, and when it's okay. And a lot of us didn't get the chance, or our parents didn't teach us like certain things, how to take care of our body, because we back home, we don't know just wash it out and that's it, put on clothes. We have a massage and
Did I go secret masturbation? That's not going to clean up the body.
Right. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Ingrid. Thank you. The theme that we've been hearing around here, it's about education and knowledge. And it's like super important for us to have that conversation with our kids. I was on a live, I think it was like 3 weeks ago, and this woman, she inboxed me and she basically said, I have my 13-year-old daughter, I need to talk to her, how do I do it? So there is so much ignorance around us.
And
some
embarrassment too.
It's a shame.
A lot of people are embarrassed to talk about sex. Eat with their children, with their partner, whomever. I've met men, and when I give them the straight talk, I say, "Fuck pussy, what a filthy mouth." Yes, if you don't like it, step away. That's who I am.
You know, in speaking on behalf of the men that's here, I mean, we've been hearing a lot about what women like and what are great for women.
Here we go.
And the interesting part about this is that it's very appreciative. You know, just hearing how women feel about just different things, sex, relationships. But in the time that we live in, as a man, I feel that we have a lot on our shoulders. And being that we have a lot on our shoulders, the responsibilities for certain things are weighing on so many different levels. You know, I hear you were saying that, you know, I tell a man straight, like, this is what it is. If you don't like it, leave. But in actuality, no man wants to hear that. You know, a man is a man. A man wants to be in control of situations. And granted, if he's not in control of the situation, he's going to leave. Now, he's not going to leave. If he doesn't leave physically, he's going to leave mentally. And that's where the cheating comes in. So now we have a generation of some women, I'm not saying all, that are so headstrong and so puffed with, and this is not saying that this is you, I'm just saying in general, whoever it is, you know, we have a generation of women that are so headstrong and so puffed with character that the men now are second coming. And it takes a strong man to really say, it takes a real strong man to really say that, listen,
baby,
I'm not going to argue with you,
baby,
you know, but there are guys that's not even going to say that. There's guys that's going to just physically leave, mentally leave, and their body, their shell is going to be there with you. And you have in these relationships, what we have is, we have people that aren't happy on so many different ends, but their side are more happy than their main, you know? And the problem is that the side chick, the side girl, whatever it is, are more happy because they're lacking something at home that these sometimes headstrong women are not providing because they're so headstrong.
I'm so happy.
You know, and it's important because for us to have a dialogue about women and men, or women sexually,
I mean, a man wants to get pleased, and along with sex, to be honest, we can get sex.
Anyway.
That's not.
Women can't get sex anyway
Right,
too.
right, right.
This is why I said it's not a man empowerment, it's a human empowerment. That's what divides us.
When I talk about empowerment, when I'm talking about saying things just out like that, it's like when I just meet, I'm not saying if I'm in a relationship, I talk to the person like that. If I just meet someone, you're not expecting me to be so blunt with my responses and sexuality. And most men shy away from that. So if, for me, my man has to be strong. If he's a wimp, he's not going to be able to manage me. And I know that because I know me.
So where does the submissive come in? And I'm not even talking about being. I'm not even.
Exactly.
Not every shoe fits.
That's my daughter's submissive.
My submissiveness comes in if I find that my mind is strong enough to match me mentally, physically, and
You're projecting your insecurity onto women. That's
No.
Okay. All right, this is a great conversation, to be honest, but remember, we're here to have open dialogue and to respect each other's opinion. And I think it's so important. And this is a perfect segue. Late night sex talk in the nest with your lover, engaged in pillow talk, deep desires explored. He shared, he's tired of the missionary position. She shared, she fakes her orgasm, the kink in her subdued. She is not comfortable sharing that she would rather get spanked on her ass until her cheeks are flaming red, sharing her passion, desires, likes and dislikes may minimize your partner having sex with another. Communication is likely to foster a healthy sexual relationship that intensifies intimacy. It is necessary to understand what stimulates each other sexually. She may desire excessive foreplay. He may want your furry furnace, clean shaved for visibility. Get out of your feelings like Drake in his feelings. Express yourselves. Engage your partner, be flirtatious, introduce novelties into the bedroom, some chocolate-covered strawberries, his or her favorite wine, adult toys, handcuffs, mask. Take risks together. You never know, you may like it. P.S. Say what you mean and what you feel. No need to make those feelings because of the fear of being judged. Share your fantasies. You don't have to act on them. At least you will know what she's thinking and she will know what you're thinking. Communication is so important. It is a dance. Relationship is a dance. You're going to move with my rhythm, right? You're going to move with my rhythm. And if you don't dance with each other in a relationship, it's not going to work. So remember, everyone here, to communicate with your partner. And this communication, it doesn't mean a sexual communication either. It's in the workplace. It's everywhere. We don't talk because we are so submissive. We were programmed that way to not have a voice. Find your voice and use that voice. It is okay. Now we'll get back to this conversation.
You know, communication is great. Communication is amazing. Communication in a relationship is amazing. Communication in life is amazing. Comprehension is the reason why a lot of us are not in successful relationships, because we don't really know how to communicate to the person that we're with. Now, the thing is, what I always say is that there's no practice in relationships. So you might break up with this one person and you're fixing yourself. That's what you do. You fix yourself, whatever. That's what we want to do, fix ourselves. But then we're not fixing ourselves for the next relationship. So we now get into the relationship, and what the factors come up is all the stuff that was lingering from that other relationship that we was having problems with, whether it was anger, whether it was being faithful, all of those things come back up in this new relationship because we can't practice being in a relationship out of one. So now it's now important for us to comprehend and to communicate with each person about what's the real issue behind. You know, your poem is perfect. You know, he might like it clean shaved and she might like it this way. Those conversations don't really happen. And the conversations usually happen. Those conversations usually happen. And I'm saying that those conversations don't usually happen on the terms of when you guys are on bad terms. Good terms, those conversations happen. You know, good terms, the conversations happen. When you're on bad terms, the conversations are more sneaked. Like, I kind of don't like that. Oh, this is just
That's
what
it's true.
I know, but that's what it is. Good times, those conversations happen. But you know who gets those conversations? The people.
side chick.
Exactly. Those are the people that get those conversations.
The side chick get the
What kind of
conversation.
conversations they got?
Tell them like the cliche.
No, whatever
But-
it is
And when
sexually.
you're on bad terms, the
Right.
side chick get those conversations.
Right?
And this is not world. This is not gen. I'm just giving my opinion. He might give a different opinion about what it is, and that's the good thing. You have 4 different ladies and there's 2 different men, and I'm just giving my opinion based on just my experience or what is, how I see life based on the things that I read or things that have been happening in my life. That's just what it is. But I'm not telling you that this is facts. Some things might be 95% true, but the 5% might not relate to you. So that's just how I feel about that. You might have something different to say.
Let's hear from the gentleman over there.
Well, those are a lot to say. Well, first, let me just try and answer your question. No, I didn't grow up in a family where we openly spoke about sex. Fortunately, I was able to have, a mother and father who, tried their best with having like a little sex talk, and thinking and, the focus was mainly about protective, safe sex. It wasn't anything in depth, and it wasn't anything bonded, But I always remember a conversation in terms of relationship, because I never really had a relationship. Talk to my parents. My mother always expected me to try to be one, right? And myself. The only time I ever spoke about relationship with my dad was when he said, "Yo, why are you acting like you're married?"
Which is normal.
Yeah, he's like, "Yo, my job, enough girl in a bungle kind of a thing." And that was one of my downfall, and I always regret, listening to him, for that. But in terms of like sex stuff, I feel like one, kind of grew up as a Christian family. You see people kissing on the TV, so it's like, yo, change the channel. Any type of sex talk, even at school, is always about something negative, disease and stuff like that. So, having a healthy sex conversation is like this is very important. And there is a need. I don't have kids, but if I did, I would have the conversation with them. Anytime the seats relevant.
Thank you so much for that. And I think this is also a perfect segue because we've been talking about and talking around having that courageous conversation. What would it look like for you to have that difficult conversation with your partner about what's not working for you? How do you think we could approach that subject to really make it less harsh? So the way we deliver that information to have that conversation with your partner.
I mean, I've done that, but I won't go into details of
No, you
what
don't
it
need to go
is.
into
But however, we're taught as teachers that you first give compliments before you get into the real raw deal. I always believe in treating my man as a king. I don't want to ever shatter his ego or make him feel less of a man. So, yes, I always start off with compliments. I always, when you just said about, we say things when we're mad at each other and so forth. But I've learned, I think I've matured at such a young age that I've learned, like a whole soul, that you just don't do certain things when you're upset, And I'm guilty of doing that, but I know better, So with my husband, and other men that I've been with before my husband that I may have little issues with, I'm like I said, I'm going to keep on putting the emphasis on this. I have to be pleased. I'm very spoiled and I'm selfish when it came to that, and I got out of that kind of mentality. But one thing I must say, I always express how I felt and what I needed, and if they had an issue, I would just let them know what the issue is, what my issues are. Yeah, definitely.
You got out of it, mommy? You're not spoiled anymore? I'm sorry.
When I was younger, it was very difficult for me to tell a man what he's not doing right. I would just
just accept what it is. And if you don't see me again, you must know something wrong. That's my thing. If at the first time and it wasn't good, you're not see me again. Because I didn't know how to say it mildly and in a way where it would encourage them to.
When they ask what happened,
good.
I just smile because in my head I'm just smiling and I'm like, bitch, you know me again.
I feel like that comes from an inferior complex from men because as a Caribbean, you're grown to think, oh, you should please your man. If they're not happy, you're not supposed to say anything.
Oh, what is mom?
Because that's how women.
I'm
women
talking
were brought
about
up.
traditional Caribbeans, not you, Mom.
So it was. The more I mature, the more I'm able to tell men what I wanted and ask them what they want. Because men like pussy different ways. You have some of them like it bald, some like it with hair, some like the stripper here, whatever. So I normally sometimes when I ask how how do you want it? And if it's that whatever way that's how it's presented. And I like getting my ass slapped. My favorite position is the doggy style slapping my ass.
Yeah.
And you have to know how to slap the ass. So if you're not doing it correctly, I would gently put the hand where this is right here, the sweet spot. And if you do it, then you have to be hooked.
Yes.
So now I'm older, I'm able to have that conversation and do it in a gentle way because I'm not a gentle person. I am not a gentle, and I admit to all my flaws, I'm not a gentle person, but I've learned over the years how to be. So that's me.
Let's hear from one of the men.
Well, first of all, I mean, any type of difficult communication, whether it be sex or just relationship issues, I feel should start with truth, and communicating first and foremost. Second, truth, I watched this movie Claudius, and one of the things that I took away from it was a question where that was asked, and the person said, "Hey, so are you going to tell the truth?" And her response was, "There's only one truth. There's no truth, part of truth." So one way of tackling difficult conversations is just by saying the truth. Hey, I want this. You haven't been giving me this. Whatever your response is, I might like it, I might not like it. But in terms of communication, there should be some openness for me to feel safe to ask you something that you might not support, or you ask me something that I might not support. I saw a meme the other day with I guess it's a popular couple on YouTube or whatever. So she made a prank on her husband about, hey, I want to do anal sex with you. And he went off, didn't know it was a prank, and started praying for her. And, in a loving way, he didn't went off violently, and I was like, look, that is a way of tackling a difficult conversation. Just say it, because that is the truth, despite the response. And in terms of communication, you have to, that's one of the challenge of, being open is fear. You can't have fear when you have a communication. There should be some room for some opposing views, and accepting things you just might find difficult.
You bring up a good point. The point about truth, and once again, I'm not speaking for all generation of men or what it is, but a lot of times females say like, why the guys can't just tell me the truth? Like, I just want to know the truth. But you have to think about the length of time and what has happened in that man's life that makes him fearful of the truth. See, because you could have a man that he starts out life in his relationships, and that's what he does. He tells the truth. But he has noticed that every time he told the truth, the women left him. Every time he told the truth, he got fired. Every time he told the truth, a negative happened. So now to a man, truth relates to negativity. Truth doesn't relate to happiness, doesn't relate to drawing close. So now you get into a relationship with a man that's his element, or that's what his mindset is. that truth equals negativity. So now you're asking him to tell you the truth, but in his mind, he's like, man, I really want to tell this woman the truth, but I know for me to have her around for a longer time, or for her to be more loving to me, I don't know, I'm kind of afraid of it. And he won't tell you this. Like in his head, these are just the struggles that he probably is going through. And that's why that important conversation comes up about being vulnerable, because a man is not going to be vulnerable to anybody if he notices that it's either being shoved back in his face, or that every time
you have to make a safe space for him.
Right, and that's what you said. It has to be a safe space to tell the truth. And that's what it is. At the end of the day, a man has to feel safe. Even though a man has to be macho and all of this stuff at certain times, there's a time that he needs to feel vulnerable enough to say that, you know what, I'm hurt because of this. And when he says that, if you're like, you're hurt, kind of stupid man, you know, that's when it becomes the cocoon wrapping around his heart. And you're gonna get a cocoon and a cocoon, and a cocoon's gonna build. And when the butterfly for him flies away, it's not going to be for you. You know, he's gonna be gone, and because you created that cocoon around him. So that's the important thing. Like, it's very important, I feel, for a man to feel safe with vulnerability.
I have a question to follow up on that, if you mind.
Yes, go ahead.
Is it okay to withhold to telling the truth because you fear a woman might leave you?
No.
If you tell the truth.
Nope.
If it's a real relationship, you won't.
You won't.
If you know in your heart it's a real relationship, and that's the type of relationship I like. I like my man to be honest with me and me honest with my man. The person I'm seeing now, that's the relationship we have. If we fight this minute, you never know the next minute, because we're just right back to where we were. He's able to tell me the truth to my face, and I'm able to tell him the truth, and we just brush it off and go about our business. And
but are those the truth? Because there's truth that we could brush off. But what's the truth? Like, are we? Those are easy truths. We could brush off easy truths. You know, like, hey, honey, am I getting fat? You know, around your stomach a little bit.
Shouldn't matter if it's easy or hard.
No, I know.
You should go in.
I feel like it's different though. It's not that
you should go in it
if
with
you have a
complete
solid relationship and
yes,
if you
it's truthful about that.
Whether it's a hard truth or an easy truth,
it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter.
Exactly.
If you have that solid foundation, you can work through anything.
When you go in with lies, no matter how minute, it's gonna F you over
Yes,
long run.
if you're going in a relationship with lies, there's no foundation.
But now that we're mentioning that as well, I want to go back to something that you said earlier that triggered this in me about you cannot have a trusting, truthful, and honest relationship without first healing self. That is the foundation.
Yes.
When you heal yourself. I'm a divorcee myself, been by myself, and I'm single by choice. And it's great because it gives me the opportunity to find who I am. I did like a lot of deep work. And this is the reason I said at this point in my life, I'm not going to take BS from nobody. And it's not about being strong-headed. I think sometimes men, and I'm being honest here because I go through this a lot. And here in this platform, it's about our experience. I'm not here to convince anybody. This is my experience, and I'm sharing this experience with you all, hoping that this will shed some light on you as well. Some men, when they find a woman who understands herself and who knows what she wants, demand and command that respect. They don't know how to handle that. They feel intimidated, and they interpret that as this woman who is just like, you know what, about female power. It's not about female power. It's about getting to the point where, okay, fine, I buy myself roses. You're going to have to come to me, and you're going to have to step to me and treat me the way I am. I can do everything for myself. So if you can't come to what are you coming to the table with? And when I spend this time by myself, it took me a time. It took me a while. And every single day I'm growing and learning. Every single day at the end of my day, I reflect. I try to figure out what could I have done differently? And what can I do differently tomorrow? I think about conversations I have. And where do I take accountability in that? And that's where it starts. When you're your true, authentic self. If you're not at that place, then you're not gonna, no matter, and I think sometimes we jump in and out of relationships because we're trying to like, that pain that we're feeling, we're looking for somebody to take care of that. It doesn't work like that. That's an illusion. We gotta be honest with ourselves. Once you get to that point, woo, relationship is awesome because you're gonna find somebody who's gonna be able to match you. Like I said, relationship is a dance. It's a tango. It takes two to tango. But you know, this is an amazing conversation, and I'm gonna try to wrap it up because we started late and time is of the essence. But we're gonna continue this. I love this platform, and I think more people should be doing this. Some people are doing it, but more people should be having these conversations. And like I said, it's like I have my girls here, and these are people that I know over time. I think we need to change our mind shift as well about how we support each other, how we connect with each other, how we network. It's not about, you know what, I'm not going to share this information with her because I don't want her. No, it's not about that. Let's be loving and let's be kind, let's be compassionate, and let's be honest. If we shift that mentality and really like united we stand. Whenever, you know, Floyd, when he got shot, it was like a big thing. We're so reactive. We're so sensationalized. The media sells us this and we take it and we run with it. No, take the time out to figure out what it is that you want for self. And then let's join forces and together we can. Thank you all so much. It's a pleasure. So, can you play Curiosity for me, please?
Kill the cat. Meow.
I'm so done.
You want to do it?
After this.
Oh, Jesus, don't go there. Oh.
Thank you so much. Okay, after this.
They don't talk about it. I remember my mom just gave me a tag, like and it was like I was an athlete, I played with the boys, and it's like, I didn't even really understand how I go to work and have your legs cocked up and all that. I'm saying to myself, we out in the courtyard, we how they going, and then on the other hand, when Vanessa Williams took those illicit pictures, my father got the magazine and showed me and my sister. I was like, oh, that stuff. It's like, but and then I had 3 brothers. So it was like, don't look at nobody. Basically, I would probably be too much, I ain't looking at nobody. I'm not doing nothing.
I'm gonna sit right here.
Well, you cutting the cake, right?
Sure.
Sorry about that, guys.
Sure, well, I'm going to have to speak to the but I think it's right now,
Nice. How's the place in mind? No, he's
Right here, right there.
Oh,
exactly. The crop
Right to
Get
the
up and find the right.
Okay.
She's never so much fun.
Yeah.
what kind of fish? I had
Just
things.
Several things.
But I don't want
It's me. I was there on the bathroom. Yeah, that's me. Steamed fish I'm trying to look for. And we need a knife so we can cut the cake. Right? Oh yeah? Is it a video show?
Great.
Thank you. Thank you. It was longer than it, but you know, hygiene purposes better.
You don't want to rest. But I'm gonna sleep down so. Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Everything is good? Yeah, everything is good. Awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Crystal.
I believe I can't take that true. And I couldn't imagine what he had to show me and my sister did when he took the magazine out. It's like, probably not supposed to be showing your daughter. I guess the thing was, this is not right. But Marie, coming without him saying it, you know, we didn't take it. It's childish.
This is the new one? The newest one? Yeah. I had
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like some kind of.
I'm not sure. I'm not saying Monique's birthday dinner. Oh. Thank you. All right, lovely people, lovely people. Can I get your attention, please? Can I get your attention, please? So I have a lovely guest over here. He's gonna grace us with his beautiful and strong, powerful voice. He's a chef. He's dubs himself the Say Chef.
Oh, yes. Singing cooking at milk.
Yes. So the floor is yours. I'm sorry I don't have a mic.
How you doing, y'all?
We're good.
Ready? How everybody doing? I'm the singing chef. Well, I'm here. I sing, I cook, and me and Tonya, she's been friends for a while, and she's been a great motivator, inspiring to me in all different types of ways. You know, we speak a lot of times on our ways, on our journey, and you know, we share the same iron sharpened iron. So we're here to do the same, to support each other, right? All right. So she told me it's an intimate moment, so let's go. I'm gonna sing an Adele right now, but you know, I said, man, I don't want to. Yeah, right now, we want to cook strawberries. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Little body. Oh, yeah. Hey. When the rain is blowing and your world is on your case, and I can offer you a warm embrace. My love. When the evening and the shadows starts to be, hey, And I know it from the very moment we're made. Yeah. No doubt in my mind where I belong. Hey. I go hungry, I go black and blue, yeah. Hey. I go running down Avenue, oh, yeah. The singing chef is here to cook for you, yeah. And make you feel my love. Extra. It's just an intimate moment, so it's not a fasting for now. When we leave, we'll probably give now one more. Yes, don't worry yourself. Let's go. Next one. Now turn it up, little volume on it, please. Little volume on it. Start it over in a little volume. Thank you so much, y'all. How y'all feel tonight? Y'all feeling good? If you feel good, you can say good and on. Start it over, please. Thank you so much. Start over? Now start from the beginning. And Mr. Q. Turn it up. Hey, I'm yearning. And I like what I think I play. Burning and feeling bleed. These arms of mine, they burning. Oh, baby, yearning from wanting you. Hey, and the you ever let them hold you, baby. How grateful the chef will be. I'm serious, y'all. I'm not serious, y'all. Come on, man. These arms of mine, they turning. No. They're turning and needing this food. These arms of mine, they are burning. Burning, yearning for only you. And if you ever let down you, baby, how grateful the chef will be. Can I?
There you go, baby. Good job.
I get one piece of one more. You know, I'm gonna do one more before I leave because you know. Ready? Somebody say yes.
Yeah, ready. Come on.
Don't let me know why you're in the It's all right. I was born by the river, yeah, and our little dance, oh, just like a river I've been running, oh, ever since. But it's been a long time coming, but I know, yes I know, change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living. Now I'm not afraid to die. No. Cause I know someday, yeah, baby, on the sky. It's been a long, time coming. But I know, yes, I know, the change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Hey. Listen to the movies, but I read uptown. Keep on telling me, baby, I got mills don't hang around. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know, yes, I know, change gonna come. Listen, then I go to my brother, and I said, big bro, can you help me please? Help me a little please. But he just keep winding up. He knocking, be way down. Whoa! There been times that I thought I could last for long. But I think I'm able just to carry on. But it's been a long time homecoming. But I know, yes, I know, the change gonna come. Oh, yes, it did. It really did for me, y'all. Let me tell you something. Hold on. So on May 8th, May 9th, I'm gonna be doing a charity, right? I'm giving away 1,000 meals to the homeless, the needy. I just want you to know. I'm doing it in Connecticut. It's going to be on St. John Street. So we have News 12 Connecticut. It's going to be there broadcasting. I'm the singing chef. I won the Apollo. I won first place at the Apollo. I've been on News 12 Connecticut, News 12 the Bronx, News 12 Jersey. Anything you want to do in life, go for it. Don't let nobody, not your friend, not even your enemy. You see my enemy then? Them no know. Me not see them inspire me. Love on everyone. The enemy, the good, the bad. You have to use the good and the bad to your advantage. Let me tell you something about me. At one point in my life, me never have it. But guess what? My family rich. Me rich inside.
Best riches.
Me rich inside, but my family wealthy. Me at a gas station. Me not for ask. Me not for ask Christ. You can search me, Google me. We have money, but I know the money me I talk about. Because money and the riches. Riches is inside. Let me tell you that. Because you can't have so much money and you're so weak. You're so poor.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that. There's a lot of people out here, they are poor here. They're here, but they're poor. Poor. I don't want a poor friend. I'm not talk friend about money. My friend have to rich with this, as my brother said. Tell him a name, go check him. He said, rich with this and with this, with your mind. Renew your mind, renew your spirit, renew your heart. Let me tell you people, when I find Christ, I realize I can do everything. I can do all things through Christ. It strengthens me, and there's nobody can tell me, say, my Christ not real. For there is therefore no condemnation to him that serve me. You see me? Me's a real youth. I can't play with me because I mean love God. I'm going to tell the truth. If you ask me something about myself, I'm going to tell you the truth because you can't condemn me. Because I have the word to protect me. You hear me telling you? But love is unconditional and I want the real love. When I give love, give the real love. When you not look for a woman, find the real love, unconditional love. When you look for a man, find the real man, unconditional love. That man there will love you like oh Christ. Find somebody who will love Christ. Because don't feel like somebody won't feel you. People will feel you. All men are liars. It said that in Ephesians. You hear me tell you? You see now? I'm telling you.
That is a lie.
Hey! That's... me just take a truth. You lie a long time. Yes, scammer. You want me to change my voice? Hello. Anyways, but I'm joking. I'm not. But I'm just trying to show you. You understand me? I'm trying to show you. People will feel you, but don't believe in people. Believe in you, believe in yourself, your God. We're not telling who to believe in. Whoever you believe in is whoever you believe in. Don't judge people just because of how they look, how they see. Just because them fish, or him a scale, or him a this, that. Love people. Make people be themselves. Make him be a mammal, make him be a camel. Love them same way. God so loved the world for him love. Him love everybody. So forbid them, not forbid them unto me. Him love everybody. So I live like Christ. You know? You see, the other day, I tell you the truth. Me as a person, we not have everything together. But at the end of the day, we love each other. And we are here for one purpose. And it's here to support each other. We are here to support Taya Marie and we love her. And that's why I'm there. I drive from Connecticut to come here. I tell you, so I stand up over there so how long at Eastwood, man. I wait at him, I call him tired about today. I'm not even know which part. I said, John, and I said, yo, the wrong place, man. Yo, I've been in there. I went in there, I was partying too with them. But I ain't gonna lie. That was fun. Then I said, oh shit, I wrong place, man. Anyways, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, y'all. And thank you for enjoying. Yo, follow me. Follow me. I'm the singing chef, y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you,
Toya.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And your beautiful voice.
Your thumb drive.
You're welcome. No, I don't.
Oh, sure. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Curiosity got the best of me. He interpreted the language of my body with fluency. I gave myself permission to feel his lips spread on the surface of my thighs. Searching for answers, he spread my legs till I explored my inner walls. I quivered with bliss. He toward my body, his erect fingers tapped into my reservoir. My cup runneth over. Strokes of intimacy provoked me on the verge of he taunted me some more, I begged. He explored my grass, inhaled my air. His tongue lingered, stroked me into submission. His dominance played the outskirts of my inner walls. Please, don't stop. My body stuttered in the floor. Erect fingers dabbled in my wetness. I surrendered, gave him all of me in exchange for earth-shattering orgasm. He interrupted my inner dialogue, catered to my needs, harmonious touch raced on my curves. He spoke to my mind with every touch. I fell into him, the echoes of my body triggered, rapid strokes. He tapped into me from behind, clapping my ass cheeks, creating sweet melody. His wave signaled, crashed into my ocean. We erupted, rested, bodies hugged, decoding unspoken
It's like apple cider, right? Right? It is. Apple cider, right?
Something about your love is going crazy. Girl, I feel Inside you, this is really bad. Listen to me.
You're in the mix, DJ Dunn.
Baby, if you're alone, you're too and be catered to you. Baby, this is your thing. Switch it into my man. Baby, you know me. Slip up, dinner, dessert, and so much more. One thing we cater to. I me from the heart. Even if we have us apart, you are the only man in my life, and you. Slip up, dinner, dessert, and so much more. You be home and hold you in my arms. Just wanna take a stress away from you. Making sure that I'm doing my part. Is there something you want to know? If you want it, say the word and try. And know whatever I'm not feeling, I'm not the one who's feeling. I'm gonna tell you my body and spirit. I promise you, I'll keep myself remain the same shit. Keep feeling love when I keep you tight. Like you my biggest friend. I'll keep my head fixed, my heart is out. When you come home, tell me on my shoulder, I'll be over. Baby, I heard you. I'm here to serve you. So if you need me, give it to you. I'm on the promise to give it to you just the way you are. Who can love you like me? Nobody. Who can chase you like me? Nobody. Who can lay your body? Nobody, baby. Nobody. And who can treat you like me? Nobody. Who can give you what you need? Nobody. And who can take you from my life? Nobody, baby. Nobody.
My house and my car. For a minute, you could have it all, baby. 'Cause making love every time we do, girl, it hurts me too much. 'Cause I'm an addict of you, and you know that I can't leave you alone. You got to get me. Got me going crazy. I can't leave you alone. I don't let my mind. So I'm alone. Girl, I'm so strung out. All I do is for you. I need the girl I'm down, so I need you near. I just wanna make it through the night. Hold me tight, and girl I'm around. I can't leave you alone. You got me feeling everything that I need. I can't leave you alone. My drop top is in the streets. Real pretty little thing that's waiting for me. Pull up, anticipating good love. Keep me waiting. I got plans to put my hands in places I've never seen, girl. You know what I mean. Let me take you to a place nice and quiet. There ain't no one better to it. Ain't got a rush. I just wanna take it nice and slow. I've been waiting for this for so long. Never till the sun comes up. Baby, I just wanna take it nice and slow. Now here we are, driving around town, contemplating how I'm gonna make it down. Then you gotta say, my, wish that I pull over and get this thing started. I wanna do something freaky to you, baby. I don't think they heard me. I wanna do something freaky to you, baby. Call out my name. H-E-R-R-A-Y-N-O-N-D. Every time that you want to do, gotta take it for your night show to see. Every time that you go, I'm holding me trying to keep control. Nice and slow, you know I'm letting it go. I'm messing up the flow. I'm gonna take you to the place nice and quiet. There ain't no one better to it. Ain't got no rush. I just wanna take it nice and slow. See, I've been waiting for this for so long. making love till the sun comes up. Baby, I just wanna take it nice and slow. Now tell me, do you wanna get free? I'll freak you right, I will. I'll freak you right, I will. I'll freak you like no one has ever made you feel. I'll freak you right, I will. I'll freak you right, I will. I'll freak you like no one has ever made you feel. Yeah.
I know y'all heard it.
Who's gonna make you fall in love? Girl, I just wanna love you, listen to what people say. Put it out your mind, 'cause jealousy ain't no what love is. Talk about what your friends told you, and I'm the selfish man, kicking you too. Baby, my past, but you changed me now. Now that I'm going you see you should be fine. You're so real, I'll be a fool to play around you. I'm just stay with you. You should know now. It's gonna take a lot of pushing you for us to make it through. You should know you're my angel. It's gonna make you fall in love. Girl, I just wanna love you. Listen to what people say in my life. Come over here and let me take off your clothes. Things I wanna do to you, nobody has to know, no babe. So lay your body right here, baby, have no fear, 'cause ecstasy is near. Oh yeah, in the unexpected position, bring it on. In a secret fantasy, baby, I'll fulfill as long as you sex me, baby, baby, sex me, baby, baby, sex me. Now let me feel your body next to mine, 'cause girl, I wanna see you sweat. Girl, I'm so glad we met, baby. Now and we're on this road. Do what you wanna do. Cause you got to need me, I got to need you. And if it ain't got me baby, bring it on. In a secret fantasy, you see I will fulfill as long as you're sexy. Say me, baby. Kiss you.
I'm the Latoya. Yes, well, I'm Crystal. Nice to meet you, Crystal.
Baby, lying on the bed, exotic fantasies going through her. Take two, I jump into my essence.
Oh, you were the one that was doing the
She's staring at me like a steroid. Honey, sipping me, so she wanted me. Saving baby, she's still there.
Is it still recording?